I'm sure you've heard this disclaimer 1,000 times. Guys, this is not investment advice. Make sure you do your own research. What? Do my own research? How? I'm not an economist. I never went to business school. Where do I even start? Well, not to worry. Here are 5 questions to ask before making any investment. Now, the first question may seem like the most straightforward, and that is simply, what is this investment? Now, this is the minimum baseline that you need to research and know for yourself. If you're buying a company's shares, what does this company do? If you're planning to buy a cryptocurrency, how does this cryptocurrency work? Ultimately, why was this business or why was this project established or created? What problems does it propose to solve? Now, the bottom line is if you can't even explain to yourself what this investment is or what it does, then maybe you should hold off on investing until you have more information. Now, finding information about a company really shouldn't be that difficult. I'm sure everyone knows how to use a search engine like Google to do a preliminary search on a company or a project. If you want to find out more about a company, you could actually go to the company's website and read its annual reports. If you want to find out more about a cryptocurrency project, you should be able to go to its website and read its white paper. Now, here's a hint. Information on a project or an investment that is legit should be relatively easy to find. If you're having a lot of trouble finding out what a company does or how a project works, then maybe you might want to reconsider your investment. The second question to ask is, what is this investment really worth? Now, we're not talking about the share price. We're not talking about how much money you're going to invest in this investment. Answering this question involves a much deeper dive into the investment itself. For a company, for example, you have to look at the financial statements of the company. Is this company currently making money? Is it likely to continue making money into the future? Who is the management team behind this project? What are their qualifications, their credentials, their past experience? Does the CEO of this company spend all his time on social media? Then how is he managing this company? So you take all these factors into consideration when you're trying to decide for yourself, what is this investment really worth? In this video here, I talk about one of the most commonly used methods of valuation. It's used by investment professionals, hedge funds on a wide variety of asset classes. Do check out this video to find out more. Now, the third question is, why are you making this investment? What are your goals? What are your objectives? What do you hope to get out of this investment? Now, if it's a company, for example, do you buy the shares because you want to make long-term passive income in the form of dividends? Or do you think that this company is in a line of business that's going to be an accelerated trend in the future that you hope to make a lot of money when the shares increase in value? Now, it's important to know what your goals and your objectives are, because ultimately that will determine how you're going to get in and how you're going to get out of this particular investment. Now, this leads us to question number 4, which is, what is your exit plan? What is your exit strategy? When or how are you going to get out of this particular investment? Now, this can go both ways. Let's say this particular investment has met all your investment objectives. Now, at what point are you going to realize your profits? Are you going to convert them back into cash or convert them into other investment assets? Are you planning to keep holding on to this investment, or do you intend to sell it at some particular point in time? On the flip side, what happens if this investment does not meet your objectives? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to be able to exit? Are you going to be able to get out of that investment if you wanted to? There are some investments like real estate, for example, that's not so easy to just get rid of at a moment's notice. Or perhaps there are some investments with minimum lock-in periods where you are not able to sell it within a certain period of time. So you have to bear these things in mind before you make the investment. What happens if you want to get out? And in line with that, we come to our 5th question. What are you prepared to lose in the event that you are wrong? Just because you have done your research doesn't mean that you're going to be correct 100% of the time. Investments are never 100% guaranteed. There's always a risk that you have to be prepared to take in exchange for a much better return. And this is why it's so important that you never put all your eggs into one basket. You never go all in on one single investment. But of course, this all depends on your financial situation, which you alone know better than anyone else. What's your starting point today? Do you have any debts to pay? Do you have a safety net? Are you prepared to lose some or all of the money that you are investing? And ultimately, this goes back to what is your investment objective? Because if you're looking to make guaranteed returns, then you have to think about whether this investment can achieve that for you. Alright, so there we have it. These are 5 questions that you should be asking yourself before making any investment. Now, you may notice that some of these questions are related to the investment itself, whereas the rest of the questions actually have got to do with you. And that's because in investing, psychology plays a very, very big part. Now, what I would suggest is that you keep a journal or a record of your research process for each investment that you take. Write down your findings, how you feel, your thinking process as you work through these questions. Now, ultimately, this provides you with 2 things. One is some measure of accountability as you are making your investment decisions. And secondly, it also gives you a systematic way of thinking through your decision-making process so that you don't end up making impulsive or uninformed choices. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope it's a good starting point for you as you consider how to do your own research in the future. So like, comment, subscribe if you found it to be helpful, and I will see you in the next one.